When you think about this struggle for black and brown people in this country, and there's a T-shirt I saw. It said 1619 to present, just tired, been tired, right? So people have been tired for generations and generations, and with the stress level right now globally, with the pandemic, we're just at a boiling point. And people are angry, people are hurt, people are sad, and people want peace, harmony, and justice. But it's gotten some bad attention, right? So now the attention has shifted to the looting, to the violence, right? This is what we're talking about. We're talking about the reaction, right? And so even the work that I do as an educator, I talk about being proactive instead of reactive, right? So now, unfortunately, we're looking at the reaction of people, and now we're almost judging that, right? And so what we need is we need to demand justice, but we need the powerful voices to demand justice, right? So when you look at locally, when folks like Sadiqa Reynolds, folks like Ja'Cory have been begging powerful voices and business leaders to be a voice for us. They haven't, but now their business is looted, and all of a sudden they're calling the powers, the people, the powerful people. So you need more people standing up for justice, to demand justice, that is.
So, what would you say to white people who would be listening, their role? Because I hear so many people, how do I get involved? So,
Right.
what would you say to people?
Well, when we say stand together, you need to stand for someone that you don't even know who is fighting for justice, right? And that's what you need to do. You need to teach your children, right, to go beyond just compassion, right? We've talked about this compassionate city for years, and you've heard me say, no, we have to go beyond that. We need compassionate actions, right? You see the signs in the yards that says, be kind. That doesn't solve anything. You have to teach your children about power and privilege. You need to teach your children to see color, right? You always see people, I don't see color, James. Well, that means you don't see me, and you don't see my trauma, and you don't see the burden of black and brown bodies in America. We have to be compassionate for others. That means right now I need to see a Jewish white family at a rally to support black people, right? At the same time, I tell my black Christian friends, you need to be talking about Pride Month right now to support trans people who are oppressed, right? Until we get to the day where we see that kind of compassionate action around our country, we're gonna be in the same boat. People are all about inclusion, but they're only for their own identity, their own cultural identity. And we're at a space right now where black folk have never had anyone else stand up for them, right? I create spaces for my black students who need that safe space, right? And that's a healing space, right, to help them navigate this. But then I have the space for the other students where I'm talking about, first of all, you have to be aware and understand the trauma that your black friends are going through. Okay, you have to educate yourself on that. Okay. Number two, you need to be in spaces, and this is where parents can help create spaces where you can ask questions. Our young people need to be able to ask questions, right? And so we're also in a society where white families don't want to talk about that with their kids. You see that all the time. This is where you get we don't see color. Just treat everyone the same, right? So if you're treating me the same, that means you're not even acknowledging the trauma that I have to go through. You're not acknowledging that just right here in this Easton neighborhood, I have to think about what I wear when I go for a walk, because the whole time I'm thinking, our neighbors thinking that I'm casing their houses. That is the everyday trauma, right? And so those are the questions that you need to ask and create those spaces to do that. Then you can stand with your brothers and sisters of all races and demand justice. At the healing rally, Peace, Love, and Justice rally happening at the Yum Center, showed up. And 5 minutes after I arrived, this young man tapped me on the shoulder. He was my very first student one of my very first students, a white male who was there, and to show support. He didn't know I was going to be there. He didn't. He was there alone. That gave me hope. Then 15 minutes later, and I'm not even going to share the name. I can't. It was a board member at my place of employment with her entire family, with her 2 boys, a white family who were there to support. And you're seeing more and more of that, Rachel. So it's hard to be encouraged right now, but those small pockets of hope really help.
One piece of advice for this community would be what from you?
Demand change and teach our young people. It's got to be different. Nothing against or for religion, but Black people have been praying for generations. You know, I see the virtual thing that our mayor did. Black folk don't need reflection right now. They don't need prayer right now. They do, but they need more than that. They need justice. They need to be heard. They need to be seen. And what we need to do is try to step back away from all this reaction. And that's the biggest thing, Rachel. We need to step back from talking about the reaction and really shift the focus to the actual problem. My good friend Ja'Cory Arthur had a bulletproof vest and a gun, and look at how they're describing him today. But a few weeks ago, we had how many white folks with guns who were not met with police and riot gear, who were not described as violent and criminals, right? So we need to change that narrative quickly.
If you could control the narrative right now, I want you to give me the headline. You're the newscaster tonight.
Oh my goodness.
And you get to have the lead story. And it could be anything you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
What would it be when it comes to the narrative that you think this community needs to hear?
Black people don't want violence. Black people love white people. Black people do not hate police. They just hate that police brutality is never dealt with. Black people want peace. They want opportunity. They want to be seen for who they are, but not this narrative that you put together based on the color of their skin. They want to be safe, and they want to raise their children without all the anxiety and trauma.
Just say whatever line it is that is authentic to you that you would like to say to this community to step up.
Whoa.
I mean, I've seen one Louisville. I was just saying, what will I do? Because I think it's incumbent upon all of us to figure out what we're going to do to move us forward.
Yeah. To me, would be simply action. Action. Why? Because we've talked, we've prayed, we've reflected, we write, but we need action.